one now?
We're on the Nice Guy tour.
Yeah. Why is it called that?
Because I'm such a nice guy. Everyone calls me a nice guy. So we're like, all right, Nice Guy tour.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you're going to a lot of places. Have you been to all of them before, or are you visiting any new stops?
I've been everywhere before except for Norway and Sweden. So that'll be the first time in Norway and Sweden. So looking forward to seeing it and meeting the fans. But this is my fourth tour in the UK.
I hear Norway and Sweden are really big country music fans.
Yeah. So they're like huge people. They're just these giant. No, I'm kidding.
Vikings.
Everywhere. It really is amazing. Just all of Europe. It's amazing seeing. I mean, we have 5 shows in Germany, and my first time being there was in the fall. So it's amazing just bringing the band back this time, and it truly is amazing to see the reach of music and meeting new fans that have funny accents like me here. I actually have an accent in the UK. It's fabulous.
How do the crowds differ overseas to US crowds?
You know, I grew up in Texas, and we listen like this. And that means your mind is blown. Like your whole world's been upside down by the song performed by you, and you're doing this. So what I've learned through that is we all learn how to listen. We're taught how to listen. And the cool thing about Europe, the way that y'all listen is you learn a whole album, and then you come sing the whole show with us, which is amazing. Just in the States, a very single-driven audience, which is totally great because I'm thrilled I've had hits on the radio. But it really is cool just visiting all around the world, seeing how fans react and understanding that they love you either way, you know, if they have their arms crossed or if they're just losing their mind. Excellent.
I really liked the video, actually. Young Forever?
Yeah.
I really liked that.
Thank you.
That was in Glasgow, was that, the video?
The video was not in Glasgow.
Oh, no, okay.
The Live in Glasgow
I'll
album.
That bit.
Yeah. The Live in Glasgow album, we actually did film that. So we'll slowly be rolling out some of those videos from that show, and it was just fun. We were just cool little club called The Broadcast in Glasgow, and just had a blast recording it and caught some magic.
Why did you pick Glasgow?
So all my Texas and Alabama buddies wouldn't get upset, you know. No, I'm kidding. Someone did ask that, and I think maybe I did think through that. It was like, well, California, New Jersey, Texas, Alabama, all these places can't get upset that I didn't go to their state to record my live album. But really, the honest truth is, I went to Glasgow. It was one of my first stops in the UK, the first time I ever came here, and was just mind blown by how amazing the fans were. And we were in this church playing. It was just a songwriters round. I think it was Randy Houser, myself, Angelina Presley. And it was just amazing to see how people were singing along, and it was just amazing experience. And remembered, if I ever record a live album, it needs to be in Glasgow, and we did it.
Amazing. Yeah. That's good. I like that. I like the fact that they were rewarded as well.
Yeah.
For being a good... and have you signed... There's a thing about you signing with Big Machine.
Yeah,
Is
Big
that
Machine
new?
Publishing. It's Big Machine Music. Just signed a new publishing deal with Big Machine Music, and so I'm writing songs for them and having a blast doing it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've heard a lot about publishing and Big Machine with the whole Taylor Swift Masters thing.
Oh yeah.
So do you own all your own stuff?
Sure, I own parts of it. Yeah, I mean, as a songwriter, you own parts of it, and I mean, I guess you could sell it away if you wanted to. But, you know, I think whenever you own something, you own a record, you want to make sure it's in the right hands and make sure how it's being distributed and all that. And Taylor's very, very smart, so even just talking about it helped people know she had a new album out, and she's a genius, and her new album is great, and she's awesome.
Yeah. Do you like to get involved with every element of your songwriting and videos and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah. My plan is to film 8 music videos while we're here in like 5 weeks. So I don't know how I'll be doing after all that, or actually in like 3 weeks. So we're just in these amazing places in Europe. So thought, well, let's film a bunch of music videos for the new album that'll be out early next year. And the Nice Guy tour might be a little foreshadowing for the next album. So.
Okay, so people will be able to hear things?
We'll be playing new music. We have a brand new show. We just rehearsed it last week, so we've got a brand new show for the European tour.
Amazing. That's great. Oh, I'll make sure we put all that in. I wanted to ask you about your podcast, because I was really interested in that. When did you start doing it?
So did the podcast this last year. We started in the spring, and it's called Level With Me. I'm a type 1 diabetic, so it's just talking to other type 1 diabetics about having it. And it seems like if you're a type 1 diabetic, you either just wear a t-shirt all the time that says, I'm a type 1 diabetic, yay! And it's like, well, you're more things than that. Like, you're not just a brother, you're not just a sister, you're not just a mother, you're not just a great PR person or a musician. You're many things, and there's so many ingredients in life. And I think when you have some type of disease like type 1 diabetes or whatever that is, it might just become everything you are when it isn't. And my goal with Level With Me was just to talk about real life as with your spouse, with your parents, with your kids. And there's so many different people we got to interview, and it's life every day with type 1 diabetes. And it's quite amazing just with the devices we have, just how well you can take care of yourself. I wear a thing called a Dexcom CGM, continuous glucose monitor, and it goes right to my phone, and it tells me my blood sugar level every 5 minutes. Mind-blowing. So it's pretty amazing. It's like a GPS. It like points in which direction my blood was going up. Before we sat down, I had some fish and chips outside, so my blood sugar level is like 135, arrow up a little bit. So I took a little insulin. So it's just amazing.
And is it right that your wife also gets these readings?
She gets the readings too. So when I'm on the road, like if we're on a tour bus and I'm asleep in the bunk, cruising through Nevada or who knows where, and it's 9 in the morning and I haven't called her yet, she can just look on her app and say, okay, my husband's alive. His blood sugar level's good. He's not in his bunk dying from a low glucose level. But it really is amazing. And the best thing on tour is we always have a cup of orange juice just in case I need it to get my blood sugar level up. And the guys on the side stage have a phone that I share the app to as well, so they can always watch my blood while I'm performing. So if you ever, in our in-ear monitors, they'll say, drink the OJ, drink the orange juice. It's like, okay. And everyone in the crowd thinks I'm getting, a little happier than orange juice should make you. So they're like, chug, chug, chug. It's like, yeah. You're welcome. The show will go on now. But it really is fun. I always smile at that when they start yelling chug as I'm chugging a glass of orange juice.
Oh, it's so interesting. So the way that it's basically changed the way that you work and perform is that you're just always aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's safety in that, because I know you were joking that she says you're alive, but it is.
Yeah,
it can be dangerous levels.
Totally, and it's the best thing is it gives me alerts. So if I ever do have a low glucose level, it's You hear this in the middle of the night. It wakes me up. Last night I was just barely low enough where I needed to get a little food in me to keep sleeping, and it's amazing. That wakes you up, and if your blood sugar level gets too high, it gives you another alert, and you can set those levels of notifications. But it really is amazing. So you literally have an alarm system on your body to say, go eat something. And it really is amazing. Anytime I meet a diabetic that's just really bummed out about life, it's like, you're living. Like, you could have been born in any other time. Like the time right now is amazing to be diagnosed and live with type 1 diabetes because of how many tools there are to use. And it just really is amazing, and grateful I get to be alive right now, get to live my dream playing music and maybe drinking OJ once in a while on stage if my sugars crash.
I did some Googling as well because I was interested, thinking, I wonder who else is like dealing with this.
Yeah.
So are you interviewing other kind of musicians and people that have to deal with it?
We haven't yet. We've just gotten to meet all kinds of different people, from triathloners to chefs to this amazing couple. They were over adopting kids in Africa, and she got really sick, went back home and found out she was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And through all that, they actually ended up adopting a girl who also had type 1 diabetes. So this mother and her adopted daughter get to live life together and help each other out, which is kind of amazing. So it's just all kinds of people. But yeah, there's a lot of celebrities with type 1 diabetes, and it doesn't choose who gets to be a diabetic. It's just, I think it's the best thing is kids seeing that you can do whatever you want. You shouldn't let type 1 diabetes get in your way, and just, with the right tools, you can do anything.
That's what's really interesting about your podcast, and the fact that people are talking a lot more openly about health and mental health at
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
is that having conversations about things, you are setting an
Yeah.
example, and people can feel less trapped because they
Yeah.
can see that, oh no, there should be no reason why I can't
Yeah.
do what I want to do because Eric's doing it.
Yeah, I think the more you talk about things, the easier it is to sort through them in your own heart and in your mind. And I remember as a kid, you know, and you're sitting in school, and I was always afraid to raise my hand saying, I need to go see the nurse because I could feel that I needed some food. And just always like, what will people think about me? And there were times where I really pushed the limits of I could have had a seizure in a classroom. I never did, thank goodness. But I think a lot of kids are always afraid, like they're weak or they're not as special or too special that you get to go to the nurse, you know. And typically the nurse is the coolest person in school. You want to go hang out with the nurse. So I just always try to encourage kids, don't be afraid. Like if you need to go take care of yourself, take care of yourself, and be okay with that. And you're special. You're a rock star, and you're not unloved because you have been given this sickness. You might be even more loved because God said, hey, this is going to make you who you are. And I don't know if I'd ever do this or get on a stage with a guitar had I not been given this wild thing to like kind of say, you're different, kid. You know, don't be afraid to stand alone on a stage and sing about things that might ruffle some feathers if it's about loving people and taking care of them. So I'm grateful for all the cards I've been given. I think I'm playing the hand okay.
Excellent, well done. And all the apps are helping as well, obviously.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to do like a couple of quick backstage things. So so you have orange juice with you on stage.
Yeah.
But what do you want backstage when you turn up for a gig?
Water's good. Backstage water's good. Orange juice. We occasionally have some bourbon, maybe. Over here we'll have some Irish whiskey or some English whiskey. Or y'all have better ales and stuff over here. Maybe we'll have a little scotch up in Scotland. I don't drink a lot, but I can have a little taste. As the designated diabetic, you know, we'll have a little taste and go, this is great. Let's go play a show.
So you do that before you go on stage. So
I might, like, cheers to the show. Have a little taste of where you're at. And not every show, but it is nice to, when on holiday playing a world tour, I'll probably have a little more Irish whiskey and scotch and some ales here from England.
And then when you come off stage, what do you do then? Is there a party?
Usually I go off stage and go sign for everybody and meet everybody. So if they come to a show, they can typically find me at the merch table or hanging out somewhere to come meet. But yeah, I'm not like party animal guy. I'm more like let's hang out and have a good memory and remember it.
And what are the fans like? What do they want to talk to you about after a show?
All kinds of things. From other songwriters and musicians always ask me, like, how do I write a hit song? It's like, I don't know. You just write a bunch of songs and they play it, you know? That to just life, and I have a lot of type 1 diabetics come talk to me about that and just talking about life. I think I've always been drawn to people who can just be real as opposed to this, you know, I think mystery is a beautiful thing for some things, you know, if you're doing a great music video or don't reveal the catch at the end, you know, the sixth sense moment, you know. But it's when you're talking to people in real life, I'd rather look you in the eye than be like, don't look at the artist, don't talk to the artist. I mean, what a horrible way to live life. No one's ever allowed to look at you or talk to you. Like you're already setting yourself up for a weird life. And I think I'm always cautious about that just on what I do to hopefully make sure I don't get too weird by the time it's my time to say adios to the world.
Do you find there are a lot of people like that? I mean, I've always found that everyone in country music is the nicest people.
You know what? No one ever talks about the nice guy. They always talk about the ridiculous person. And it is. You always kind of hear the horror stories of do not look at the artist, do not talk to the artist. And you only hear those stories. Or this, I did hear one story one time. Someone was like, yeah, this guy signed for 3 hours and we got to him and then he quit. And I'm like, he was signing for 3 hours. You were late to the party, you know. But it's, you know, unfortunately on airplanes you hear the bummer stories over the amazing stories. And I guess I'm glad I'm not talked about too much when it comes to being a bummer.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you called the tour Nice Guy, so
Yeah.
you got to live up to it now, haven't
Yeah,
you?
dang it. Now I have to be nice.
You have to be nice to everybody. Um, just on the kind of thing about the podcast, I wondered, do you listen to other people's podcasts? Is that something that you do?
You know, it's a wild thing. It's like I make music and I probably should listen to more music, and I make podcasts and I probably should listen to more. I just kind of pick from here and there. It's like I walk through the forest and go, ooh, cherries. Oh, I get a peach. Why not get an apple? I typically just go to all kinds of good things, and hopefully I get filled up with some good food and good inspiration. Um, but yeah, I've listened to all kinds of just random DIY podcasts to, spiritual podcasts to other musical podcasts, and I don't even know the names. I'm just like, ooh, that sounds cool. Let's listen. But yeah, I just kind of put a lot of stuff in and see what shows up. Hopefully some good stuff shows up.
What about TV? I hear that lots of people do quite a lot of binge watching when they're doing, like, on tour buses, travelling around quite a lot.
I typically get off the tour bus and go see the town I'm in, so I don't do a lot of TV binging. But yeah, I mean, it's totally cliche. My wife and I watch Outlander. Dear Lord, we'll be up in Scotland, like, sing me a song of the last that is I. I don't even know all the words, but we love it and watch that. And I mean, I love watching the DIY stuff from the Property Brothers, all HGTV stuff. Chip and Joanna Gaines in Waco, Texas, where I'm from. There's a lot of shows over there that people love watching, and my wife and I love renovating houses and fixing up old things and making them new, making old things have the ghost of what they used to be in them. So I go on the road. If I'm not, the reason I don't watch TV shows is because I'm looking for old Victorian doors in some antique mall or something and hiding it on the bus somewhere, and shipping it back to Nashville.
Yeah, you quite like antiques, don't you?
I like old things. See, the thing about old houses is you got to find the old hardware and the mortise locks and the doors. So that's why I'm at antique shops, and I like old stuff. But I'm not like, I don't have like shelves with knickknacks of random, like, here's a samurai made out of gold, I'm not that antique guy. But that sounds kind of cool though, antique samurais.
Final weird question for you at the end. What's the funniest thing that's happened to you on stage where you've, like, really, really been laughing, like really struggled to hold it together?
One time on tour, we were in a very, 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 very backwoods town, and I am from the country, but this was really in the country, and I walked out on stage, and everyone looked like they were going to kill me after the show. It was so backwoods, like, oh my gosh, I better not sing the wrong song or they're going to kill me. And I got it on stage, and the whole first verse, I don't even think I said a word, but I ended in house. And my drummer, the whole show was laughing because he knew what had happened. I just walked out on stage, was like, oh. And I will never tell you where that town was, but I would love to go back there. But it was a truly amazing moment, and I'm sure I had played like 250 shows that year, so I was already just exhausted. But it was a truly amazing moment, and I was probably laughing a lot afterwards. But my drummer literally could not stop laughing. It was amazing, and we have a lot of it on film. So
Excellent. I love that. That's brilliant. Thank you very much.